Hello, welcome to Co-Creating with Cosmic Holly. I'm here tonight discussing the last quarter moon, the third quarter moon in Taurus at 27 degrees, 37 minutes Taurus. And just mentioning the moon for a moment, the Taurus moon is happy when it feels uh, stable, safe, that, there's beauty, delicious food, yummy sex, like all the really beautiful things in life that basically that make us want to live. Beauty with a capital B, Platonian beauty. Okay. So Taurus reminds us of the importance of beauty and how beauty nurtures our well-being. So that is kind of the vibe that's happening right now. Um, and the moon itself, like we're looking at the last quarter moon as compared to the new moon in Leo that happened on July 24th, 2025. So the third quarter moon is a time when we're reviewing um, projects or intentions we've made, even things maybe we weren't um, conscious of. Like we're responsible for ourselves. We're also responsible for one another. We're responsible for the collective. So like looking at what's going on in the collective and you know our part in it, our part in the creation of what's happening in the world. That's why I always say, like, make a few intentions that also include the world, that also include all beings on the planet. There's a lot going on. I'm going to focus on the moon. Um, the last couple of videos I made, I talked about Uranus moving into Gemini and the power of the word, right? And Uranus is surprise communication. Gemini's communication is the word, poetry, um, you know, curiosity. This is a really great time to allow yourself to be curious, especially if you're looking. Okay, I guess I am talking about the planets, especially if you're looking for a shift in your experience. If you want to change and are willing to be in the not knowing, working with Uranus is one of the ways to go. And you don't really have a choice anyway because Uranus is in the mix. So really using your words as a way to help create your reality and the reality of everyone. We have Saturn and Neptune retrograde. They're still in Aries, but they're working their way back into Pisces. And you know, it's like they're both gung ho in Aries. Saturn's already like, whoa, whoa, slow down. Let's see, what is it that you want? And Neptune, is doesn't really have structure. It's all about dreams and imagination. So we might be having lots of things coming into our minds or into our being, into a state of dreaming, into a state of dreaming in something new. Same thing with Saturn. Saturn is not the dreaming, but Saturn is the building. But they're both backing into Pisces, going, double check the dream, double check what it is you're dreaming. Pisces is the dream. Pisces is everything. Pisces is pure potential. Um, Jupiter's in Cancer, big nurturing energy here. really good luck. Really good luck. Ooh, all right. I dropped 3 cards, so I'm gonna let those be the cards we look at today. And Cancer. Venus is also in Cancer. Mars is in Libra. Again, power of words. Libra's words and diplomacy and relationships. So like building on relationships. Anyway, back to the moon. Right now, like I said, we're looking at what it is what we intended during the new moon on July 24th, 2025. So like what intentions did you put out there? Are you seeing any results? This is the time when we start to experience the karma of what it is that we've been working on. um a lot of times, like, we're going to start to get an inkling of what's happening. Some things happen really quickly, some things do happen in 3 weeks. Other times it takes a little more time, right? So we have the lunar gestation cycles, which are every quarter, is every 9 months. There's these bigger cycles the moon uh lives in, and the moon lives in even bigger cycles. But we're looking at the synodic cycle, and we're looking at the gestation cycle. And gestation's every 9 months. So I looked it up here. We're looking at also the new moon in Taurus from May 19th, 2023. Um, at it was I don't have I did not write down what you can look it up. May 19th, 2023. So what was happening for you then? Uh I almost can't remember what was going on for me during the new moon. I actually write my intentions. I have my new moon intentions written here, um, from 3 weeks ago, let alone 2 3/4 years ago. But just as an example, I thought, what the heck was going on for me? And I don't have I'm traveling, so I don't have my journals with me, but I thought, okay, I was seeing someone, I was dating someone, and we kept breaking up. And the breakup wasn't sticking. And I knew it wasn't the right relationship for me. And I remember at this time, I think that we had broken up maybe twice at this point. But that was the big thing that came to my mind. But then I looked um, a little more deeply, and yeah, and it was interesting because it was like I kept trying and trying, and um, it was it was it was a little bit hard. It was hard, but I was like, okay, that was one of the things, but it really wasn't the overarching thing in my life. I had other things going on that are still happening in my life. That situation isn't happening anymore. That situation is gone. But I was looking and I found that oh, and interestingly enough, the Taurus is my fifth house. That is romance, so I guess that makes sense with that situation. But it's also art and creativity and play and fun. So I had written a post on my blog called "Building a Universe Starts with a Spark," and I had created this. I'm still creating this project, but um, I was working on a project that I thought I was going to be able to break out into like a sub collection, an art project. And around the new moon, I laid everything out. It's the Stars Project. A lot of people, some people know about it, but basically, I'm creating like 900 paintings of over 900, almost 1,000 paintings of stars. And at this point, I had about 200 stars painted. And I laid them all out thinking, okay, I'm going to be able to break these into these smaller series. But when I laid them out, I realized, no, I have to create the entire universe of 1,000 stars. So that was a realization during that new moon. I also started dancing before painting again. I used to dance before paint and then I kind of stopped. Um, and I had my art studio was in New York City and now I'm upstate. And one of the things was that I had moved back to the East Coast after living in the Southwest for 15 years. And I lived in New York City for 20 years before that. And I wasn't experiencing, like, there were things about New York City when I lived there that were was hard for me. And there were some great things. There was a lot of magic. And one of the things that I really have a hard time with living in the Hudson Valley is the car culture. I do not like car culture at all. So I'm having a little bit of a hard time here, but um before that, like so much of my life was me trying to make art while also balancing taking care of my mom. My mom was dying. And that's how the Star Project came about because the paintings are about that big, but they're blocks of wood. And I'm getting back like that project got put aside the last year of my mom's life and it's coming back into my life. So this project is taking more than 3 years to come to fruition. Um, and one of the things that I said during the new moon was to people who read my blog, visualize me finding the perfect, bright, and spacious studio and place to live. The studio I had was amazing, but it was temporary. I'm looking forward to getting settled in and enjoying small town or small city life. I'm seeing yoga, a garden, hiking, fresh air, friends, music, and adventure. So, um, there's more, but that's an example. So it's like right now I can look at that and I haven't had time to really think about it, but it's like, okay, what was happening 2 and 3/4 years ago? What was happening 3 weeks ago? And how can I combine my intentions from 3 weeks ago to my intentions from almost 3 years ago? And or it's 2 and a quarter years, sorry, 2 and a quarter years ago. And how do I um, combine them? What like rewards am I reaping? What is my karma? What is my responsibility? And how do I want to fold this into the next cycle? Okay, so I got a little personal regarding what's going on um, with how to look at the moons. And so, I know that there are certain themes right now. It's where to live, where am I living? I'm still like, I know that I'm not totally excited about where I'm living right now. And there's also that, like I am dealing with the karma of putting aside really making any money while helping my mom. And so now I'm like catching up. Now I'm dealing with debt and things like that because you only, like I felt it was important for me to like deal with some family karma and that I could catch up with the money karma later. And so now one of my focuses is a relationship with money, right? So that is something that's happening. Um, and my relationship to art, it's like all my relationships kind of took a second, um, sort of took just what was not a priority. It was a priority, but it was not the main priority. The main priority was my mother. And now I'm getting back to what are my priorities again. And when I look at what I was looking at in May of 2023, I was definitely just trying to figure everything, just trying to figure it all out. And going, I just have to give this to the universe because I can't figure it all out. I just have to put one foot in front of the other. And that's kind of how we do things, but we do sort of steer how we're going by putting the energy out there, by talking to the cosmos. Um, and now again, it's like there's this specific focus that I had that's not there anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, even though my mother was my top focus, like the next the next tiers were, art making or finding a place to make art, finding home. So home's a big thing for me right now. And Saturn in Aries is my fourth house of home. So we'll see what happens. I'm curious to see how this all unfolds. And tarot is a big thing. It's been a big thing in my life for a long time, and I'm starting to do readings at a shop in person at a shop in upstate New York, and that's going great. Anyway, all right. So I will put timestamps so that if you don't, want to watch me talk about myself, um, you don't have to. So let's see. These three cards jumped out, and how cool. All right. The first card is the Magician. And he's definitely Hermes. This Hermes, let me tell you. Um, the Nine of Wands and the Six of Cups or Vessels. So we'll start with Hermes because Hermes is the first card and also major arcana. So the magician, basically, I was talking about this earlier, where it's like we have, okay, okay, we have everything at our disposal. We have everything we need in order to create. You see, he's got like here are all the zodiac symbols. The caduceus is the wand. And his hand is, it's like this is divine word coming down. This is divine energy coming down into the earth. Taurus is earth. Taurus is the earth sign. So yeah, so it's fixed earth. So it's like, what have you been speaking? What have you been creating? What would you like to create? Like, now is the time to look and see, uh what are the words I've been putting out there? What are the spells I've been casting? And what are the spells I want to cast? Because that's what this is about. This is about spell casting. Uranus and Gemini, the word, communication. Taurus is manifestation. So what have you manifested? Hello, what would you like to manifest? I often do a meditation where you see yourself in the future. See yourself in the future, um 27 months in the future. See yourself in the future and go visit yourself with your present self, right? See yourself in the future doing something you want to be doing. Visit yourself and ask your future self, what is it I need to know? Or just act. Just speak and act as if you already are your future self. Create your spells as your future self. Okay. Um the 9 of Wands, this is like, I'd say throw yourself completely into your passions. Throw yourself completely into your passions. Speak your passions passionately. Create spells passionately. And then nurture your desires with curiosity and love and care. So, yeah, that's basically the Taurus new moon, not new moon, excuse me, Taurus third quarter moon. So review what it is. Review what it is you've already created. Review what it is you'd like to change. Begin to prepare. You're preparing and then speaking, setting the intentions next week, the new intentions. This is very powerful. Let yourself be passionate about it. Throw yourself into it. Really do a ritual. And then nurture. Nurture with kindness. With the Magician, you're really taking in everything that exists in the world, throwing it in the cauldron. There's some things you don't want in the cauldron, well, then throw them in, let the cauldron burn it, let the cauldron burn it up, and ladle out what you do want. Anyway, that was a really long video for just the empathy. Thank you for watching. And if you'd like to book a reading with me, go to holly-troy.com/tarot and you can book a reading with me. Until next week, look at what's going on in your life. Look at what you've created. Get ready for the Virgo new moon. It's going to be really good. Have a great week. Peace.